Okay. Are you ready for this?
Let me get my pink headphones
Oh
boy.
It's out of the way.
That's the quality we're going into with.
What did you just throw in there? The nail clippers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is your host, Aaron, and I am here with my co-hosts.
That's it?
Where's our descriptors?
We don't get funny names?
I forgot to do it.
Well, that's disappointing.
We have last year's copyright, or last week's
All
copyright.
Here, then Ryan, you say hi. And then you give yourself a descriptor.
Hi, I'm cum-filled Ryan.
Hi.
That's not even alliterative.
That would have worked better with Caleb.
Yeah, come Caleb.
Yeah, I'm regretful Caleb.
You guys mixed up your automatopoeia there.
Yeah.
Or your assonance.
Well, you threw me way off. I mean, I'm all discombobulated.
Yeah, I was ready for him to say something. And
You love it.
I kind of like how it threw it off your game.
you hear the silence?
I'm leaving that in.
Guys, this is episode 20.
Yeah, this is a good one.
2 tens.
Wow, we've made it
10
that
plus
far.
10 equals episode 20. We're covering 1901 to the 20-minute mark. I can't believe we've made it this far.
Well, I mean, the wheels could fall off at any time.
I can't believe we have 65 more to go-ish. We've got a lot of... we have 65 more episodes of passive-aggressive text conversations.
Oh, they're getting better and better.
Yeah,
Face.
we really need to have a discussion.
Team meeting.
Yeah.
All right.
This is how rock bands get torn apart. I guess.
We are rock stars.
Yeah.
That's right.
Of like maybe the lion caliber.
We have upwards of 400 listeners.
We're no close Countach.
That's right.
No way. So, quick episode recap. Last time we learned that regardless of what happens in the rest of the movie, Daniel is dead. Mm-hmm. Anytime we see him, he's really a ghost. That's going to be the twist ending, a la The Sixth Sense.
Spoiler for The Sixth Sense.
I like that.
Anytime we see him, he's really a ghost, just haunting the Autobots for their blatant disregard.
I would
of
love
his
to watch
safety.
this movie with that thought in my head. Like nobody interacts with him.
They do a flashback at the end that shows all the
Shows all the-
giveaways. Daniel reached for the check, but actually Hot Rod picked it up and
That's
looked
right.
at it. Okay.
Guys, go watch The Sixth Sense.
But everybody's seen The Sixth Sense by now. I don't feel bad about spoiling a 30-year-old movie.
There's 30 years.
Defenses are broken.
Do we want to after this podcast series? Do we want to do
The
Sixth Sense?
The Sixth
Minute
Sense
by minute, yeah.
podcast. The Sixth Sense. That sounds really dull.
The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
That movie, the pacing.
In this movie, or in this minute, Bruce Willis sits there morosely.
He's wearing
Saying nothing.
sweats, and he does a silence.
It'd be
And
like
then you just, I'm sure it's hard for me to talk because there's a gun in my mouth.
it'd be hard. Can you imagine doing a minute by minute podcast of close 2001 Space Odyssey?
Oh my god.
Because there's just minutes that go by.
There
every-
are
This is a minute
tens
with
of
all
minutes
stars.
that go by without dialogue.
I love that movie.
I do not.
They're showing it at the Draft House.
Well,
It's an awesome movie.
great for
I would love to see it at the
everyone
Draft
else. It's
It's Kubrick's masterpiece.
His one.
Controversial.
Only one.
No way.
So defenses are broken, and we've learned that 25 Decepticons can take out 400 cannons.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we probably don't need to talk about that ever again.
Yeah.
And Prime, the Dinobots, and Sunstreaker?
Question mark? We really hammered this home.
I know, but
Sunstreaker.
reinforcements to Earth to turn the tide. Dinobots were sent to attack, and that's
Dinobots.
them
destroy
flying through the
Devastator.
air is kind of where we are here.
Yeah,
at the top of
I've
the
got.
minute.
man, this is a great minute because so much happens. But like the Dinobots, okay, up top, why are they so goddamn goofy in this? Pause it, right? Oh, you went a little too far. But whenever he kicks Grimlock, the look on his face is like an underbite that is so goofy. And so, like the Dinobots in this scene, it's like slapstick. There's another thing that bothers me more. Grimlock I never noticed until I went this frame by frame, but like, boom, right there.
I know what you're talking about. I frame by frame it. He's like got this sort of Cro-Magnon. Like,
yeah, like an huge underbite.
Yeah, the illustrations on this scene aren't necessarily
that one didn't
the
bother me
best.
as much, but
I know where you're
one,
going.
okay, that's bothered me since I was a kid.
Let me see if I can just.
If you can
well,
get it.
you saw it for half a second.
Yeah.
So
here
let's
comes
here
Sludge.
it comes. Here's what you like.
At 1904, and he gets punched in the back.
Look at his eyes.
And there's straight up 1904 Looney Tunes eyes pop out of his head. What the fuck is happening?
Did you notice that as a kid?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because as a kid,
that
I
one's
thought,
way more noticeable than the Grimlock
yeah,
one.
it's quite ridiculous. They're even cross-eyed and googly-eyed. Like,
Wow.
why would you do this now?
Yeah, and
of all times.
In a movie where there isn't much cartoonish effect, that is a pretty hilarious.
Not to-
Yeah, and we're
Sludge
coming
is
up on one of the most serious.
Not to mention, look, his whole body is like.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, we're coming up on one of the most like serious moments of the movie, and it's like they went to Bruce Valanche for punch up on
There's
this.
gotta be.
Bruce Valanche.
If anybody gets that, please take your Centrum Silver.
The comedy king of my grandpa.
Hello.
I'll take the center square of Bruce Valanche, please.
Thank you. That's
what's-
more Rip Taylor.
So what's up with that? That's weird.
Yeah, it's real weird.
I couldn't find anything in my research. I did some Google searches for why is this part animated so strangely, and nothing came up. Like I was hoping to find that maybe they farmed out the animation to
I fucking hate
somebody
that.
else. I will say that this exact moment is iconic. Because this is the one that you can tell if you were to watch it.
Yeah, if you
in
watch it.
normal motion, you can see it's quick. But at any rate, so there's a third party company called Fans
Oh
Toys,
my God.
and I have the character right there. His name is Stomp instead of Sludge. But
that's
anyway,
right.
they homaged that moment. There's an extra part that if I transformed him into Dinobot mode, that you could insert those googly eyeballs. Just
We're looking
to,
at a picture. Right? We'll throw that up in the notes or put it on Facebook and Twitter for sure. But that's funny. That's pretty good.
It's an awesome little homage they did there to this even stupid moment. He just it almost looks like shitty 80s Hanna-Barbera animation.
Yeah, it is straight up Looney Tunes.
But
And his back doesn't really
Yeah,
break
it's
open.
like-
I know it's like folded
It's dented
in,
like he's made of clay. This is
flexible.
but not dented. Yeah, it looks like he's a blow up like children's birthday party lawn,
or like one of those
creature.
clowns that you punch and they pop back up.
It seems that they have a hard time trying to figure out how to animate something that is mimicking something that is organic. You know,
This whole thing is just perplexing. I don't know what it's about.
He's flexible in a way you shouldn't be. 'cause
No,
he's
like his
supposed
legs are straight out. He's flat on the ground. The mechanics don't work at all.
to-
Like,
Yeah. Well,
Oh, well.
that's wild.
anyway, that bugged me forever. Then
gets picked
Devastator
up.
picks up Sludge.
Okay, so Slag knocks Devastator into a wall here at 1913. Swoop flies in. This part has always perplexed me. So when Swoop flies in, does Devastator actually willfully do something that causes the roof to fall down, or does it just happen to fall down?
No, because Devastator's a moron. Like, he is well known as an idiot. So Slag pushes him into a wall. Swoop comes in
Swoop's
at
coming
1916, and Devastator kind of tries to, like,
Move out of the-
backpedal to get out of the way, and a wall just happens to collapse on
Okay.
Swoop. Which kind of is like, I feel bad for him, but he's fine later, so.
So we're gonna say that was a happy accident.
I think it was, yeah.
For
because,
Devastator.
Yeah, Devastator's not like a real cerebral guy. I think that he was, like, you can see on his face right there in 1960. He's like, oh, well, that worked.
When
Right.
when the Constructicons combine, do they have a hive mind or is it a completely new personality?
Yeah, well, we've touched on this a little bit, but any combiners, they do become an amalgam of all the personalities, and so it's complicated as to how it works. But like with Devastator is known in particular to be very, very stupid whenever he's combined, but extremely powerful. And maybe because like the Constructicons have such disparate personalities, but yeah, or there are 6 of them instead of 5.
But none of them are known for being stupid, so who's watering down his personality?
Well, also he's the first combiner, so maybe they just didn't have the tech right.
Maybe that's true. All right. So if their mission was to destroy Devastator,
mission failed.
They got their asses kicked, the Dinobots.
Without question.
Slag's the only one that got a solid hit.
I know. Luckily, it was a good one. It was enough to knock him through that wall there, but everybody else is debilitated. You didn't even see Grimlock didn't even get up.
Guess what? You just did for him what they've been trying to do, which is get into the fortress.
That's true. That is absolutely true. So, that battle's over. Optimus Prime shows up. Iconic angle on his face.
Like this and the next scene or next shot at 1925 is an awesome, like the pose, the perspective, everything about it is great. Like the artistry. We can go ahead and go.
Do you want to do your best Welker?
Why Frank Welker?
Or Peter Cullen. Do you want to do your best Peter Cullen?
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
I want to try it.
Okay.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
I liked that.
Wasn't bad.
Whatever it was, I liked it.
I liked it too.
It wasn't a perfect Prime, but I think you could get there.
Let me try it again. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
I think that was worse in terms of.
But I like the voice.
I do.
Let me try it one more time.
It's like an announcer.
I'll try it one more time. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Perfect.
All right.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna have to level that.
Let's get Colin on the line and tell him his job is over. Time
you're
to
done.
retire. All right, so Prime says that iconic statement. We see the Decepticons running past Devastator, which, by the way, watching this kind of, I don't want frame by frame, but like second by second at least, I pick up on so much that I never have picked up on before. Like this scene, I never noticed that they were all running past Devastator sitting there lying in
actually, I'm just noticing that now. I didn't notice that until just now.
But
that's at 1923.
In fact, I assumed that the Constructicons were in that mix of Decepticons that were running.
I didn't think that.
But the next shot around 1924, you see Prime standing in this sort of
It's awesome.
It's a great
pose.
Love it. You see Sunstreaker and Hound coming off the ship, which Hound also was helping out.
That's why Hound is so confusing, which maybe you can justify it by like he just came up, but it does look like he's coming down the gangplank of the shuttle, which is very confusing. We've done Sunstreaker to death, and then like fucking I don't even care because I love this scene that's coming up after this.
The transformation?
Just the transformation, the whole thing for the next like 2 minutes. I love
because you're gonna be like, oh.
Although there's a coloring error right there between 1928 and 1930. Prime's stripes on his cab turned from white to red.
What?
We can go back a little bit. And then also here we are at 1932. There's no Autobot symbol on his cab or on his trailer.
You know, Prime, you're trying to race up there. Why don't you just leave the trailer behind? That's only going to weigh you down, bro.
True. I wish, honestly, in the show or I wish that they had kind of, I can only think of one episode of G1 where anything about his trailer comes into play, which like Roller does some espionage in one episode, I think. But it's like, I kind of wish they would have done more with that.
I think in at least one his trailer breaks apart and that whole little battle station thing shows up, but it's a non-thing. It's just a thing that connects to it.
Yeah.
When he transforms at the end of the day.
Like it's legit. This scene where he transforms and rolls up and the touch starts, which we'll touch on in a little bit. Haha. It legit gives me chills like every time. Like I love it. I love it so much.
Pretty tingly moment for sure. Where are those Decepticons running? That's
I think they're running toward the breach.
Is that what it is? They're trying to get in the city.
It's not. It's kind of confusing because
it takes so long for them to get there.
Yeah, but also that's the breach Megatron is in whenever Prime.
Okay, well, watch this. Maybe it'll help make sense. So. Prime, starting at around 1933, he is racing away from the ship that has just landed. He's racing over.
Yep.
the bridge, aka the hydroelectric
Hydroelectric
power,
dam,
and
yeah. Right
over the moat that surrounds
Which also doesn't
Autobot
work
City.
because I don't know why there's an overspill whenever the water levels on either
Yeah,
side
they
are
should
equal,
raise the
but that's
water level.
that's nitpicky.
Fucking dumb shit animators, go to hell. So he's racing over the bridge towards that area, and we should be able to see. Okay, so of course, yes, you're right, because he's getting ready to step
Yep.
over Swoop, which until I was watching this second by second, never even noticed Swoop was there.
Oh, really?
Much less that he is kind of convulsing a
It's
little
pretty
bit.
horrible. Like that is why I was like, oh, that makes me feel bad, but he's fine later. I just
Right.
in this moment, it's like, oh, that's kind of gruesome because his beak just moves and it's like, ew.
Yeah.
That's at 1941.
It's like he's sort of half-assed trying to
Yeah,
stop him.
I don't like it.
With all of his energy, but
Whoever made this is like, let's just traumatize everyone.
So the Decepticons are following
Whoever made
Megatron.
this, like, I don't know.
And you've got like the Coneheads, you've got Shrapnel, you've got Blitzwing, you've got Thundercracker, and from around the corner comes Prime. He's caught up, he's barreling at him.
That's right.
And he does this crazy kind of like, I don't want to say Tokyo Drift type maneuver, but he does some sharp turns. And these guys made a mistake. They paused.
Oh yeah,
They
looked
paused,
back, and then
turned back.
Ramjet gets it
Yep.
right in his face.
This scene where Ramjet, is this Ramjet? Which one is this?
No, that's not Ramjet. That's
I always fuck up
Is it
on
Thrust?
the, I
It's
think
Thrust.
it's
I think it's
Thrust.
Thrust,
I think
yeah.
it's Thrust.
because I always thought that
It
was
is
Ramjet,
Thrust.
and then doing it research, I'm like, oh, I was wrong.
I always
the whole
mix up the
time.
Coneheads too. It's because they have physical differences and color
Yeah,
differences.
it's real.
But they all have those dead faces. Anyway, yeah, the grill sequence.
Where he's reflected. And I have read that this may be an error because the perspective would be off, but I'm like, maybe he's just downhill, like, from
Yeah,
him.
that's true.
So,
That's true.
I don't have a problem with it, but then, yeah.
I would assume there wouldn't be a downhill on a metallic city,
True,
but I don't know.
but I'm like, I don't care. That's another nitpicky one. Like, it's a cool effect. Yeah,
I even
there's
like
a-
the lens flare
Yeah,
of Prime's grill. Mm-hmm. The other thing I like, that artistic decision. I mean, it's all just tied to planning out a really cool shot. But you see the reflection in the grill as Prime comes towards the camera, but then you don't have. Oh wow!
We just paused in 1947, and Thrust's face, like as it's almost hitting, like milliseconds away from hitting him, is hilarious. It looks like the Scream, that painting.
Hand drawn, yeah. His, by the way, what Prime is known as a cab over semi truck, which was iconic in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Like in the heyday of the trucker movies.
Yeah, there may be this may be figured out, but I've been trying to find out what kind of truck he is.
It is known. I don't know it off the top of my head.
It might be a Japanese.
Well, I've heard he's a
truck as
Volvo.
well.
I've heard it's a late 70s, early 80s model Volvo.
Okay.
But then I've heard people say, no, it's not
I don't
a
think
Volvo.
That's not what I've never heard that.
Then they say it's either like a Peterbilt or a
I
Kenworth.
think that's what I've heard is a Peterbilt, but I'm not for sure.
Well, they found whatever that model is. They found it for one of the Michael Bay movies, the one before this one, because he had that mode as a alternate mode briefly. As
Hello again, and welcome to a segment I like to call These Dumb Shits Fucked It Up Again. I'm your host, Casey Kasem. These ignorant and repulsive windbags are so stupid that trying to find a cogent thought between the three of them is like a blind man in a dark room looking for a black hat, which isn't there. Now, as to the subject of what kind of truck Optimus Prime is, according to the TF Wiki, Prime is a 1977 Freightliner model WFT 8664T. Well, regrettably, it's time to get back to the show. Say, instead of doing that, why don't you just throw your phone directly in the toilet and go swimming in a pool full of cacti? I know I'd rather do that than listen to one more bargain basement sexual innuendo from these verbal bowel movements. Keep your feet on the ground and... fuck these guys.
They've updated that since then, but
okay. All right. So this isn't the greatest art right here, but it's forgivable because of the effect they're trying to pull off.
It's a reflection and it's distorted.
Right, and also the artistic decision just to show that scene and then just whoa,
wow,
and then just show his body flying. You
away.
don't have to show the actual hit. You just show the cause and effect is awesome. So Prime is continuing his drive. He knocks shrapnel
away.
out of the way. He makes a...
Oh.
That part right there, that sequence where he's making a left towards Blitzwing, you're inside of the cab.
At 1953.
First of all, is badass looking in terms of the animation.
It's a good idea, too.
I paused it on that just to look at all the stuff that's in that cab. It's pretty cool. Like, they have the Autobot symbol in the middle of the steering wheel.
Which is so weird. Why would you need that?
It is weird, but it's branding. And then they have the CB that is up to the left
CB
of there,
radio?
right there. See, you can see it on the left
Oh,
there.
wow.
That's his community.
And really,
That's at
he's got a,
1953.
you know, it's also, he's got a rear view mirror. He really has no need for a rear view mirror, because if you look in the rear view mirror, you can see the trailer behind you.
I guess that's true. That's why you usually have side mirrors, which he does not have. I don't think he's up to code.
No, he's not.
OSHA.
Oh,
No,
not OSHA.
No, DOT.
Oh,
The
shit.
Department of Transportation will shut him down. He better have his logbooks up to date.
So,
Does he stop at every
Weighing
way
station?
He avoids them. He sneaks past
What
the way
if
station.
Prime is running drugs?
I would love to be like do a Smokey and the Bandit Prime mashup.
Well, there's one big thing missing right in this scene where he's hitting. Is it smoke screen?
No, that was thrust. He's thrust.
So when he's
and
running
then
towards
shrapnel.
he needs to do this. He needs to be like,
I'm glad, the touch is playing throughout this whole sequence. What if it was some, Weird Al style, adapted to Transformers branding trucker anthem?
Oh,
like,
Caleb, you should make that.
all right.
Or you could just legit be like, convoy.
Yeah.
We got a big old convoy.
So speaking of detail from inside the cab, I love even the steering wheel. Obviously, it's going to do something because it's cell animation, not painted animation.
It turns.
But it turns in the.
But the
does it
opposite-
turn in the opposite
I
direction?
think it turns in the opposite
Check it again,
direction.
check it again.
I think it does.
Yep, wrong
Yeah,
way.
it turns to the right and he's moving to the
How
left.
could you fuck that up?
I mean, well, okay, because it's opposite in Japan. You turn right to go left.
This is true.
That's right. That's true.
They read.
everybody.
They read
This
right.
was animated in Korea.
It's the same.
Don't they read like? Do they read right to left, or down
I think it's Chinese that's up to down. Oh boy.
down to up?
Down to up.
Let's not even go here.
Yeah,
No,
we're
I'm
really
sorry. I'm not
ignorant.
trying to. I'm just curious. All right, I'll find that out on my own.
I think it's more vertically as opposed to horizontally.
Why don't most of these guys turn into jets?
Yeah.
Why don't they,
B jets.
do that and get
Well,
out
they're
of
trying
there?
to. True. I think they were just surprised, and they were like, Megatron was like, "Let's get into that hole," which is my Friday night. And then, so they're just like surprised. And Astro Train dodges out of the way at
That's
1955. That's what I meant. Blitzwing.
I love this sequence where all these guys are just firing at him. And you got Soundwave, you got Ramjet, you got Dirge, and somebody else over there in the corner. And I wish the minute wasn't ending now because you only see the beginning of what
how
is
awesome
like
it is.
one of the coolest sequences where he transforms, and we can't really talk about it anymore.
Yeah, in 1959, that's when the power boost happens and Prime explodes off the ground.
So
And that's the last we see of this minute.
So you never have seen, you never see that before.
No.
I'm assuming, does he have nitro boosters explicitly to boost him into the air?
I
Or is
mean,
it just they're just trying to say
again-
he's transforming hard?
That's right. Again, there's a lot of one-offs. Maybe he's been upgraded since 1986, because it's 2005.
That's true.
But like, I think it's just a one-off cool thing that happens.
To help him get up in the air for this. Yeah.
And I mean, just watching Prime barrel through everybody, and then especially in the next minute, just blow everybody away. Spoilers. Is just so satisfying. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Just as a one-man wrecking crew.
Absolutely. I mean, he just fucking kicks ass. If you ever doubted his power, this sequence and the next one kind of illustrate it. Let's see. I do have some voice actors.
Okay.
But it's another one of these cop-out voice actor moments.
Uh-oh.
Where the person didn't actually talk, but you got an on-screen moment.
All right.
So, thought I'd give it to you. First of all, Sunstreaker is voiced by Corey Burton, who we covered in a previous episode because he also does Spike, along with Alpha Trion, Brawn, and Shockwave.
Yeah.
But the guy that I'll cover in a little more detail is Ken Sansom, who voiced Hound, who just got the opportunity to stand outside the ship there
He
for
does a lot
second.
of standing around in this movie.
He's in 20 episodes of the main show.
Wow.
In case you were wondering.
He's in one of my favorite, SOS Dinobots.
Oh, I didn't
He goes to the museum with Spike again. This is one I had on Family Home Video, and he goes to the museum with Spike and takes holograms of the dinosaurs there to bring back to Wheeljack.
So he aided and abetted Wheeljack.
That's right, Dinobots. I thought you were supposed to make dinosaurs. Dumbest line ever. Yeah, he's
For such a little.
he's
dick.
an asshole.
So Ken Sansom, I'll just get it out there. He's dead.
Okay, great.
Just
Great.
in case you were wondering.
Mortality comes for us all.
Well, I mean, he was a World War II vet. He ultimately after he served in the Navy, he got a degree in radio broadcasting from Brigham Young University, 1949. So old feller. But other than Hound, I think the thing that he was most known for was he took over, I believe, in 1978 or the early 80s, doing the voice of Rabbit on the Winnie the Pooh franchise. So he was a rabbit throughout
The
our
prick
childhood.
of the Winnie the Pooh series.
He was kind of an asshole. But Hound was so warm, so he had to diversify his experience a little bit. As I said, 20 episodes of Transformers, and while Winnie the Pooh was probably his most prolific paycheck, Tailspin, Scooby-Doo, the Chipmunks, he was a live actor as well. He was on things like Murder, She Wrote, Days of Our Lives, Charlie's Angels, The Brady Bunch. He was in the movie The Sting. You guys like that one?
Yeah.
With
Robert Redford, Paul Newman.
Yeah, pulling some shenanigans.
Pre-salad dressing.
But he passed away in 2012 at his home. I don't know, not at his home. In Sandy, Utah. I wonder how close that is to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Geographic information.
Utah, a mountain state.
Mormons.
Mormons. Well, I mean, he went to Brigham Young.
Yeah, he's probably a Mormon.
I think we know where this
Black
is
Gold.
going.
Texas tea. I don't.
I wonder if he had
Movie
some
stars.
fancy underwear.
Oh, magic
Let's
underwear?
not go into that.
No, let's only go into that.
I wonder if...
Let's make this unlistenable.
He died in 2012. He might have had the opportunity to vote for Mitt Romney.
Well, I just thought maybe he killed himself because of the Mayan calendar.
Oh,
That's not good. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
the
good.
man's dead.
Dude,
It's
don't
not
offend
nice.
them.
he was 85.
Sure, so
Don't offend the Mayans.
He died of a stroke. He died of a stroke, so it wasn't. It was one of those more sudden deaths.
yeah, all right.
A lot of this is coming out. Script. Hey, Caleb.
What?
Ryan.
Yeah.
You know what it's time for?
What?
Script deviations. Thanks for humoring me on that. Ryan, I like to go to you first because I feel like you have the more psychedelic script.
It is certainly more bananas. So the deviations in this one are kind of just more like expansions. Like there's, of course, we still have the Autobots in here, which are still fighting Devastator whenever the Dinobots show up. So it's then the Autobots and the Dinobots against Devastator. Devastator and Dragon Beast stop as a...
Dragon Beast.
Yeah, it's a great name. It's good. We are not Predaking. There's a noisy roar as the Dinobots come in, and
As opposed to what? A quiet roar?
yeah, the silent roars. That's what I say whenever I have an orgasm. Oh, the silent roar. Caleb loves it. So we follow the Dinobots as they transform in Dino mode, attack Devastator, which falls apart basically. And then Megatron is running with the rest of his troops, in which we don't see him in this one. He presumably comes in after. There's a little weird... I guess he's already into the breach. He must already be into the breach at this point, because he's leading the Decepticons. But in this script, all of his... when this is happening, all of his troops flee, and he's left alone in the field, and he says, "Stand and fight, Decepticons! Hold your ground, I say!" And then... basically, we cut actually to RC and Hot Rod and Cup in a pillbox, that's in quotes, I don't know why, port, and they cheer and clasp hands, Hot Rod reacting as RC places her smaller hand, I don't know why we have to specifically say smaller.
Her smaller female hand.
Hey everybody, she's a lady.
Her
Her smaller hand on top of his, and Hot Rod says, "It's Optimus and the Dinobots!" And this is
Why couldn't it be a bigger hand?
She has man hands?
Well,
like
no,
that Seinfeld
it doesn't have
episode?
to be man hands. But, like her hand could be feminine, but just for whatever reason, significant.
Hot Rod!
There's a script note that Hot Rod doesn't say it out loud, but Hot Rod notices that her hands will make his dick look small if they ever
Well, we can't fuck.
enrapture them.
Yeah.
It.
You can't have my piston.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. So the stage direction says he sees RC's hand, clears his throat, and removes his hand, and says, "It's not over yet," because he's shy.
That tension
Yeah.
on.
He goes, "Your hands are so small."
And there's actually a line here for Daniel where apparently he's not dead. He climbs up onto Cup's shoulder, and this is a line for RC later on. And he says, "The Decepticons are retreating. Yay!" She doesn't say yay, but...
Oh, you just added that?
No, he says yay in the script.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
RC says that exact line later, except without the stupid yay.
Like they're 9-year-olds.
So
And-
he climbed up on Cup. Like, how tall is Cup?
Probably 20 feet.
So they let him climb.
Scales him like a little monkey.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, allegedly the reverse happened last time.
Where Cup climbed up on top
That's-
of Daniel?
Well, he climbed up
on
next
top of
to
Hot
him.
Rod. Sorry.
Oh,
it was mixed
I
up.
see.
Yeah.
That's all I have for this moment. There's more in the next one, but...
All right, interesting. So I thought you would probably cover mine, but mine is actually totally different.
Oh.
So mine indicates I have a hard time figuring out if yours is older than mine.
Well-
yours is so like sometimes mine have moments that are way crazy different, and
Well,
most times yours are way crazy.
On
different.
mine, it says new draft April 24th, 1985, and then there's a handwritten note completed April 27th, 1985. Because there's
I don't have
alternate
access.
versions in here of what he did, like which is very confusing. But
I don't have access to that reference at this moment. I don't feel like looking it up.
well, you're not the master researcher like I am. Actually, you're much more in depth with it. But
So mine just indicate you'll recall that last time Devastator actually had Hot Rod and Cup in his hand.
that's true. Yeah.
And so in my version of the script, it indicates that first of all, when the dinos are on that ship, they're in dino mode on the ship, and they transform into robot mode, jump off the ship, and then transform back into dino mode again.
Which is...
After firing at Devastator,
Yeah.
they fly for a spell, fire at him, and then transform back into dinosaurs. And the script indicates that the Dinobots are overwhelmed by Devastator, and their strength is more than matched, which did play out on screen, I believe. But Hot Rod and Cup are released during that struggle. And then when the ship ultimately lands... Prime has problems getting off the ship. It says that he begins shooting. There's a swarm of Decepticons that are trying to get toward the ship and envelop it, and Prime is shooting at them. Essentially, that very moment he emerges and starts blasting away. Megatron is only 100 yards away. The script indicates,
Which in Transformers terms is like 10 feet.
right? Yeah, no kidding.
It's a couple of steps.
No kidding. But in the animated version, what we saw, it seems like he's a solid half mile away from where they are.
Where the ship lands.
But what is true to what happens on screen, he utters his famous line and begins his charge. And regarding The Touch, it doesn't mention the song The Touch specifically in the script, but it does say that as Prime battles his way through the Decepticons, we hear an inspiring anthem of courage, strength, and triumph, like Eye of the Tiger.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good placeholder for that. Like, okay, Sam, do your thing.
So that's a good transition. I do have a few notes on The Touch specifically.
Yeah.
And there's a surprisingly little amount out there that I could find. Maybe there's some interviews with Stan Bush that we can find and dig up extra info for when this comes back around. But so it was written and performed by Stan Bush. It was released August 1986 as a 7-inch single. I'd never heard of this before. A double A-side. Instead of having an A-side and a
So
B-side,
it's the same
they
song
call
on
it-
both sides?
No,
Oh.
the other side had Weird Al Yankovic's
Dare
Dare
to
to
Be
Be
Stupid?
Stupid was on the other side.
Ah,
It
it's
was double
really
A-side.
weird.
I would
but-
love to have that.
Yeah.
That'd be quite that might be a collector's item.
I'm sure it is.
I wonder if you can find it. So it's on that. It has that single, and also it's on the original motion picture soundtrack. Part of the story, and we can probably get into more detail on this when we get to the Planet of Junk. But so Weird Al, a lot of these artists were on this Scotti Brothers label, and I feel like probably whoever produced the soundtrack approached Scotti Brothers. They had a handful of artists, among them Weird Al was on that label, Lion, and maybe Stan Bush was, but I mean, I guess that single was released on that label. So I think they were like, they just had a bunch of artists and just Crammed them onto the
hey,
soundtrack.
They were the
we
right
need a song.
But the crazy thing is that they had the right combination of artists for this. I mean,
It worked
I
out.
can't think of
I mean, Dare to Be Stupid's a weird choice for that scene.
the Junkyard.
Really? I think it's a great
Yeah,
choice
it's
for that.
good.
scene.
Is it?
I
Okay.
never,
Yeah.
I never struck me as weird.
All right.
We'll talk about it more when it
Yeah,
happens.
when we get there.
You'll see the light.
So the song itself, from what I can tell, was inspired. Did you guys ever see the movie Iron Eagle?
Of course.
Yes.
Is it
Lou
a
Gossett
lost
Jr.
classic to you?
It's a part of, again, like the 70s were trucker movies, the 80s were
Jets.
jet fighter movies.
And,
Yes.
and motorcycles.
That's right.
Michael Bay should have made movies. Did he make movies in the 80s? Because he should have.
I
know what
think
his
he was
first
probably
movie
too young.
Yeah.
He was just an upstart at some studio.
Somebody should have killed him. That's not
Go back in time.
That's not good. That's not. I don't advocate
12
that.
Monkeys situation.
That's right.
To stop the
Send
Transformers
Bruce
movies.
Willis back in
You better
time.
cut that shit out. You just threaten Michael Bay.
I didn't threaten him. I said should have.
You said someone
No
should
longer.
have killed
They shouldn't
him.
do it now. The damage has been done. Who cares?
So the song was inspired by a line in the movie Iron Eagle. So there's a sequence. I don't know if it's towards the end of the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but
Me
but
too.
you can see it on YouTube. There's a dog fight, and Lou Gossett Jr.'s character's name is Chappie, and so he and the younger main character Doug,
Whose name I don't know.
they're in a dog fight, and Lou Gossett Jr. gives him a tape and is like, if something goes wrong, play this tape. And so if something does go wrong, Lou Gossett Jr. ends up, crashing into the ocean or whatever. And but before he dies, he's like, I'm not gonna make it. And he's like,
Play the
"Come on,
tape."
play the tape. You gotta play the tape.
That's not a bad Lou Gossett impression.
So first of all, I don't know why there's a tape player in a
It's
always this.
a jet.
There's always
He
this
puts
soundtrack
He puts
thing.
the cassette in Soundwave, and Soundwave hooks up to the jet.
So the kid puts the tape in, and it's a pre-recorded, like kind of inspirational speech from Chappie, Lou Gossett Jr. to the kid, and he's basically just says a bunch of supporting words, and ultimately he tells the kid Doug, he says, God doesn't give people things he doesn't want them to use, and he gave you the touch. It's a power you have inside you. Down there where you keep your guts, boy. And it's all you need to blast your way in and get back what they took from you. And so that inspired this song.
Wow.
Okay.
So I guess Stan Bush is a fan of Lou Gossett Jr.
I mean, that's a deep cut.
That's interesting.
But the song was originally meant for the Sylvester Stallone movie Cobra.
That's right.
And I guess it didn't. I don't know why it didn't make the cut.
Which is, by the way, guys, ladies and gentlemen, go watch Cobra. It is
It's an amazing movie.
fucking ridiculous and awesome.
I've never seen it.
It's it's interesting seeing like Sylvester Stallone and Brigitte Nielsen next to each other because she's like 6'1" and he's like 5'3",
Yeah.
even though his IMDb says less than 5'10". He's not 5'10".
Not five.
How did
But
they 69?
Awkwardly.
Yeah.
He's like,
Did he just bump his face into her belly button?
Well, it depends on what's going on.
Or she would have bumped his face into his upper
No,
thigh.
she would have missed that. She would have had nothing to do.
She's down by his ankle, and he's like,
And she made him work.
oh yeah, she's scary.
The touch. You haven't mentioned it made an appearance in a popular '90s movie.
Yes.
So it's actually been in several random things. An episode of I've never seen the show Chuck, American Dad, The Goldbergers, Bob Burgers, your favorite, The Regular Show. It's featured in that. But yeah, I think you're referring to
I think the most famous one,
the great movie Boogie Nights.
That's right.
Starring one Marky.
which is interesting
Wahlberg.
because he was in the new Transformers movies.
That is true.
And
Oh,
a
wow.
real missed opportunity for him to sing the touch in the new movies. Which, yes, if you haven't seen Boogie Nights, first of all, go see Boogie Nights. But Mark Wahlberg does his character does a cover of the touch poorly.
Well, he's bottoming out, but we don't have to go into the plot of
We
the
don't have to, but
I think
let's
they're
do
all
it.
speed fueled and
Yeah, and it's interesting to see him purposely singing badly. It's just I
Well,
find
I assume he can't really sing.
I would think
he
Mark
was a rapper.
That's true. He was a rapper, but I think you have some timing. Maybe he can sing better than that in that movie. But yeah, it was really interesting because the touch was made specifically for Transformers, so it's a real interesting addition.
Choice.
Well, it was made specifically for Cobra.
Well, all right. But it's just a real. By that point, it had been used in Transformers and not
Ooh.
So Bush actually recreated versions of the song once the Michael Bay movies started to. He knew they were in production, and he recreated some modern updates to the song with the hope of getting it on a Michael Bay soundtrack. But to date, that son of a bitch hasn't let Stan Bush be in on this action. So they've totally hosed him.
Oh.
That sucks.
You'd think
That's unfortunate.
throw him a little bone.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So Bush has been inducted. Did you guys know this was a thing? Into the Transformers Hall of Fame.
Is this an official
He
thing?
better be.
I think it is an
Who's it
official
run?
thing.
I mean, you probably don't.
Is there,
Who
is
that's
that,
run by or
is that an annual deal?
Well, I think back when they used to have TFCon, which is the official Hasbro approved convention, which doesn't exist anymore, they would do it as part of that. He was part of the induction class along with RC and Rodimus Prime. They also induct characters.
Fictional characters?
By the way.
That's not cool.
But Stan Bush, also known for Bloodsport and Kickboxer soundtracks. We talked about that earlier. Kumite.
Rocky.
And
No, that was Nicola.
Shit.
Nicola.
Yeah, sorry.
You just made a
Rocky
big
for
mistake, motherfucker. When asked if he ever gets sick of the touch, he replied no. This is an interesting reply.
All right.
He replied, no. It's been a big part of my life. I'm sure some artists get tired of playing their signature song, but for me, it's a blessing. Good job I didn't write a song about cop killing or something.
Oh.
I look at some rappers and think, there's enough negativity in the world.
That's a weird tangent.
Shots fired at the rap
Yeah,
community.
there's a real blast
I
over
would love to
somebody's
see
stern.
Stan Bush and Ice-T get in like some kind of
Yo,
battle.
Stan, I heard what you said about me, man.
Good Ice-T impression again. Anything else, guys?
I think I'm fresh out. Oh, yeah, no. I'm good.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Carter?
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I got something. Oh no, I don't.
What was your note you made?
Oh, I was made a note to discuss the questioning about what kind of model of tractor trailer Optimus is, what kind of cab over he is.
Let's get to that.
We'll look it up for next time.
Probably we won't, but who knows? We got 65 episodes to discuss it, so it'll probably come up
Yeah,
again.
but this is the only one where he transforms into that cab.
He's even got horns on him. He needs to blow those horns.
Those are smokestacks.
No,
right?
on his
Or are they
shoulder,
horns?
on his shoulders, like coming out like this.
on his chest.
Yeah.
Oh, those horns. Yeah, on his chest. Yeah.
Fwamp, fwamp.
Wham, wham, indeed.
So coming up next episode,
Oh, let's not play
the
that.
Cucaracha?
No, that's like a southern thing.
That's the.
Oh, Dixie.
It's.
I don't want to play
It's
Dixie.
the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, but that had a rebel flag on the car.
All right, cut it
That
out.
could not air today.
What if Prime had a rebel flag?
All right.
Oh, we've hit us. Oh, okay.
Ryan hates the South. If you're
It's not-
from the,
it's
if you're
not
from
good.
the South.
Listen, the South is fine. It's just people with the rebel flag on anything is ridiculous.
So
Mississippi still has a rebel flag on its flag. That is dumb. Let's end this.
All right. We'll probably cut all this out.
Nope.
That's okay.
It's important.
this is our political statement.
What? But it's
We don't like racists.
This is making me look.
Caleb, do
but
you
this-
like
that's the problem.
racists?
That's the problem. This is making me look like some sort of like.
I don't know why you want the South
sympathizer.
to rise again, like you said before we went on air.
I don't. I just. All right.
So
That'll teach you to make comments.
next episode, it's just going to be Ryan and I for our 21st episode of the Autopod Decepticast.
And join me on my Auto South Deceptic Confederacy.
Oh, no.
cast.
Same. We need to, the same. You need
He
to,
only celebrates robots of Southern heritage like Ironhide.
I like how you're coming at me, but you're the one escalating it in your own mind. Like
this is gonna be hard
none of
to
this
edit.
is coming from
Are
me.
there any-
This is coming from
are
your
there-
brains.
Are the other Transformers that had a Southern sort of thing?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna do it.
All right, listen to this.
Yeah.
Next week, Prime's gonna fuck some cons up.
That's right. It's great. Next minute is really. There's a lot that happens, guys.
We're gonna see the first half of the one-on-one brawl that defined our childhood.
That's right.
And one shall stand, one shall fall.
Why do you throw away your life so recklessly?
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
We all got Prime voices in this episode. Yay.
I know mine was decidedly the worst. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends that we're all over the iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of them at ApodDcast. And visit our web presence at AutopodDecepticast.com. iTunes users, please rate and subscribe.
Yes, it helps us out. It helps us out. And I would just say, if you want to follow me personally, you can go on my Twitter at RyanJet2. Or you can go to YouTube, where I semi-regularly put up funny videos, which you could just search Ryan Jet. You have to scroll down a little because there is an MMA fighter who's also named Ryan Jet. That is not me.
What benefit are people going to get from
It's
following
funny.
you?
I don't know.
That's it?
If they want to, if they don't, I don't care. But it's
Is
just
it-
like I did some videos about New York, did some about Seattle. I'm gonna film the eclipse. I'm going to Jeff City, August 20th.
Are we doing plugs?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, we can do plugs. Why not? To film the eclipse is going to be over 2.5 minutes of totality. It's going to be awesome.
Caleb, do you have anything you'd like to
Do
promote?
you want to plug the sun?
Let the plug this podcast episode.
All right.
like to plug Ryan's mouth hole.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
See, once again, he's putting things in my mouth. I'm talking about putting things that I want to
In
put
my
in your mouth.
Fill it up.
Here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Just a good old boys. Never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
I sure hope that was recording.
Oh, God.
So you build these little boats. They're easy to build. They're like pretty much ready made. But then you race them like this. And Harrison not only won first in his age, but took over won first overall.
This is a Boy Scout thing.
Yeah.
So was it about the design of the boat?
No, I think it's what's blowing correctly.
He just got the swing of it. That kid was close.
Yeah, he almost got
Real
him.
photo finish.
But then look at the trophy that he won for this little thing.
Did every kid get a trophy?
No. The scouts don't really do that. They're like, if you're a winner, you're a winner. If you're a loser,
Go in the forest and die.
yeah.
Do they let...
Look at the trophy that he won.
Well, what's the boat made out of?
Balls of wood, and it comes. You just get these 2 planks of wood that you kind of sand down, and then you screw this thing to the top, and that's it.
Deadly Potato?
He named his boat the Deadly Potato.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a very popular boat.
That is a...
Schooner.
No.
This isn't a catamaran. It's a.
No, that's right. Wait, isn't it?
This is specifically called a. They have a different name for this for some reason, but it's like catamaran.
It's Dogger Marine.